I just sat here and God said, stay curious. I know a lot of people, have been wondering, like, when are things going to start to align? When are things going to come into fruition for me? I've sat here days, weeks, months, wondering when and why, and like, why things happen to me. When is things going to get better for me? I've been sitting here and waiting and wondering, but you got to stay curious. You got to stay open. You got to follow the crumbs. You got to always know that God is never going to leave you or lead you astray. God will forever be your guide. And as long as you are willing to put your best foot forward and to stay curious, stay open, that's when things will start to flow in for you. That's when things will be, just handed to you, because I've been in a place where someone had introduced me to something that I was not open to at first. I wasn't open to it. I was not open to the possibilities or the things, like even in the mundane activities, that it would open up a whole gateway, a whole abundance, a whole, answered prayer, a miracle. I never knew that. So once I became open enough, once I was open enough to put myself in that position, put myself in that moment to receive, that's when God has started to overflow me, overfill my cup, and like, I found this like riverbank, this waterfall near my home, and at first I lived over here and I didn't see it at all. I didn't even know it existed until I got to the point in my journey where I was open to it. Someone else introduced me to it, and I was so open enough that my spirit seen it. And ever since then, that has been my safe place. That has been where God has answered me. That's where, you know, if God, if you needed a sign right now, this is a sign that God has always been here. God has always been working, because in that very spot that I ignored, that very spot that I didn't even know about because I wasn't open enough and I wasn't curious enough, that's the same spot where I received my blessings, where I received my abundance. Yesterday, I prayed to God to make my spirit, my voice, my pain, everything that I've been through undeniable, so that you wouldn't see me. You would see who I am. You would see the person who they tried to dim, the person who they tried to come up against. And today, when I, like last night when I went there and prayed, it was quiet, it was silent, it was still, it was, the waves was rushing in. The waves were still, I said the waves, hold on. The waves were still, oh, I'm moving too fast. But yeah, the waves were still. So this morning, because I'm so excited to tell y'all, because this morning when I finally got to the river, it was in overflow. It was abundant. It was so overflowing. It was filled to the top. And mind you, I've never seen it filled so far to the top. The waves was rushing in, like you couldn't even see the rocks that was underneath it. It was just the floodgates have opened, and I don't know who this is for, but the floodgates have opened. The very thing that I sat there and prayed for, because I was open enough to find that spot, to find that safe haven, to where I could pour my life into it. I pour, and it's not much to look at, and it's not, something so beautiful, but God blesses the mundane. Like, you literally have to be open to it. Like, it was an overflow. We're about to receive. You're about to receive. You feel me? You just have to be open. You have to stay curious. You have to have that knowing that God will never lead me astray. Everything that God has promised me, I'm going to receive. Everything that God has promised me, I'm going to be put in position for it. Everything that God has promised me, I'm going to be thankful for, because I stay open and I stay curious. And this right here, you wouldn't even be saying this if I didn't stay open and if I didn't stay curious, because I wouldn't even have been able to live in my truth, because I am open to it. You feel me? I would have never wanted, like I said in a previous video, I never wanted to get on here and speak my truth, be vulnerable in front of people that I don't know. But I'm here because I stay open and I stay curious. I'm a living embodiment of what God can do. Like, you really have to just stay open and stay curious. Amen. It just led me to Psalms 9, and yeah, like if that verse alone don't speak for itself, like then I don't know what will, because the truth is now undeniable. You to record. Yes, it overflowed. Like this is crazy. The river. It was just a calm little stream. Now the floodgates have opened. They have opened in abundance. Like look at it. It's just so abundant. Like forget what it looks like on the outside, but what it represents is everything. Like this is abundance. This is abundance right here. This is real overflow, because it did not, like, every day I've been here, it has never been this flooded before, like ever. Like it's really in abundance. Like it's an instant overflow state. It's in the downpour state, literally, and it's raining. This is so crazy. Just hear the sounds. Just hear the sound of it. Progress.